Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Ollie and welcome to another episode of Ollie's Opinion. Quick note, just want to say how thankful I am for the overwhelming amount of support on the last video. The views were kind of record high and there was a few more likes on it, and it really means a lot to me. So thank you for that. Hopefully we can continue this momentum on into this episode. And talking about this episode, we're going to be talking about the Premier League surprise packages. I've picked out two teams who have either succeeded or fallen below people's expectations. And we're just going to have a nice little video talking about those teams and what I think about them, and maybe how their season's going to finish. So yeah, we will get into our first surprise package. So the first team we're going to talk about is a team who have succeeded people's expectations, and that is West Ham United. I know there's a few West Ham fans who do watch these videos, so they're going to be overjoyed. So looking at West Ham, they're currently in 6th place, played 23 games, won 11, drawn 6 and lost 6, which is a very impressive record for West Ham. Usually they are mid-table towards the bottom of it, but this season they're putting up a real fight just outside of the Europa League place, currently occupied by Chelsea, I believe. Some notable games from West Ham season then: they beat Leicester 3-0 on the first day of the season. Obviously Leicester in the top 4 race, maybe an outside shot for the title, so looking at that result now, very impressive. 1-0 win against Everton, which usually might be a game where they take a draw or even a loss. So to come out of that and get 3 points, very impressive. And a 1-1 draw against Manchester City, who are currently walking the league. So those 3 games, those 7 points, were very big for West Ham if you look at the context of them now. And that's kind of the reason why they are 7th. The games you would usually expect a West Ham team to lose, like the odd game at Crystal Palace, or go into maybe a Fulham where the Fulham could cause an upset. They've either won those games or picked up a draw. So it's good to see this very big shift. The only blip they did have was against Newcastle, where I think they lost 3-2, but other than that, being very strong. And I think you've got to credit that to their squad. They already had a very strong squad coming into the season, the likes of Aaron Cresswell at left back, who is a very defensively sound player. Declan Rice, who is just being able to keep him each transfer window feels like it's a signing, especially with the amount of higher, more established Premier League teams coming after him. And Mr. Antonio's kind of very much been their spearhead for attack for the past few seasons now. So to come into this season keeping that very strong spine is always a good start. But they've also added great quality over the 2 transfer windows. They brought in Vladimir Kufal from Sport Prague, I believe. Exceptional defender. He is in my top 5 right backs at Premier League this season. Great at clearances, very sound, doesn't look at all phased by the Premier League, which is a real struggle for some players. So to have come in and settled down, it has been amazing for him. Thomas Souček as well, who has been an exceptional player, probably their player of the season. A central midfielder who's chipped in with 8 goals, but he's also chipped in with, I think, over 70 clearances and makes a lot of blocks. He's got every asset in his hands, I guess. He can play a bit more forward as an attacking midfielder. He can holds down the midfield line, or he can even drop back and help out with the defence. So, exceptional player. And Jesse Lingard, they've got him on loan until the end of the season. Very good move for him. He picked up 2 goals in 2 games. Both came against Aston Villa. It's an exceptional performance. He played quite well against Fulham. He's trying to build his confidence. He's not had the greatest time, but personally in his life, he's had a lot going on. But also at Manchester United, it's not been great. So for him to come in and kind of hit the ground running is brilliant for him. So if we look forward to where this season's going to go, they've got some difficult games left, a few of the top 4 sides left to play. If they do get a build in form, they might be able to make a cheeky little push in at 5th for the Europa League place. But personally, I don't see it happening. The teams above them have much stronger, larger and better squads. And they can be able to keep up more and kind of put in not better performances, but be able to field more teams to get better performances. So for that reason, I'm going to say West Ham will finish 7th or 8th, which is still a very impressive result for David Moyes. And they can definitely use that to build on for next season and hopefully go and get something more next season, maybe go the full distance. So West Ham been doing really good, but I think they're just going to miss out on Europe. Now, the team which hasn't lived up to people's expectations, including mine, Sheffield United. Last year they was amazingly good. Project Restart kind of hampered them a bit, but they put in a very good performance for a side who had just been promoted from the Championship. But this season they've been nothing but abysmal. They're in 20th place, foot of the table, 23 games, only 3 wins, 2 draws and 18 losses. There's a few reasons we can kind of look at as to why Sheffield United haven't been as good this season. Firstly, Dean Henderson has gone back to Manchester United. He was a very strong part of their squad last season. Made 97 saves, 13 clean sheets. The replacement which they brought in was Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth, who is still a very young and he's not got too much Premier League experience. There is a good goalkeeper in there, but not on Dean Henderson's level. He's only made 1 clean sheet this season out of the 23 games they've played. So it's not very impressive when the man behind the defence isn't performing. Secondly, they've made no quality improvements to their squads. Very different end of the scale to West Ham. They've brought in Ryan Brewster, who's not really brought in the goals with him. But other than that, they kind of relied on the same squad as last season, which I know for some teams work, like Leeds. I think the 10 of their players who have been playing in the starting 11 were in the Championship last season. But for a team like Sheffield United, who weren't really established as that Premier League club, this summer was the summer for them to do that, and they just didn't really bring in all that much quality. And then with that spine, a lot of their players have been injured, and it's not the players who have played the odd game here or there. We're talking of Ender Stevens, who was one of the main men in that back three last season. Sander Berg, who, you know, like Stevens, a very big part in that midfield, very instrumental to it. He's been out for a while. And Jack O'Connell, who I think has really been the highest profile injury. Chris Wilder even said that it was a worse injury for them than Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. And on face value, everyone's a bit like, well, hold up a second. But when you look into it, what Jack O'Connell brings to the game in terms of clearances and putting balls up that left side, making all those passes, for them to not have that and not have the quality replacement to bring all those in, it is worrying, and it is probably their biggest issue at the moment. So, as I mentioned, 20th place, only 3 wins and 18 losses. I think, can they do the Great Escape and can they survive? It is possible. I remember Sunderland back in 2013-14, they was in very much the same predicament as Sheffield United. They just survived. But I think it's wraps for Sheffield United. I think what they can do now is they can try and put up a good fight and try and, rally players together. But I think ultimately they can be in the Championship next year. But maybe that's what they need. Go down a step, kind of not walk the league, but comfortably win that, and then build that squad up. That's really where they failed. And whether it's because of budget or bad scouting, they've not built on their squad. So, maybe a season in the Championship, and if they win that comfortably, they can kind of get the recognition as a Premier League team and then get all those players in. But yeah, not being great for Sheffield United. So guys, that is it for this episode of Ollie's Opinions. Thank you for watching if you have got to this point in the video. If you did enjoy the video, go down, drop a like, leave a comment. What did you think about West Ham? Will Sheffield United stay up? Any improvements I can make to this video? And also, any topics you would like to see being discussed in future episodes. Every contribution, whether it is just a like, a view, or a comment, is helps me out a lot because it shows me that you guys are still interested in this type of content. Do subscribe to the channel. These videos are coming out weekly. I have got into the habit of it, and we've got Amber Talks, Taft's Words going to be coming out soon as well. So lots of content coming out, and it's free, and you can unsubscribe at any time, but I'm certain you won't want to. So yeah, that's it for this video. I will see you next week for another Ollie's Opinions, but as always, up the county.
Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again, make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.